Some residents of Sabo market in Orile Igbon alongside Ogbomoso-Ilorin expressway in Oyo State have reportedly attacked men of Oyo State Fire Service. ATN gathered that the firefighters were attacked when they tried to prevent them from illegally scooping petrol from an overturned petroleum tanker. The incident, according to sources, occurred Wednesday night. It was learned that the tanker, which was carrying 33,000 liters of premium motor spirits, otherwise known as PMS, overturned due to a tire blowout, causing a fuel spill that led to a fire outbreak. Our correspondents gathered that the firefighters from Oyo State Fire Service, Ogbomoso branch, were informed about the developments. The firefighters arrived at the scene but were allegedly attacked by the residents. General Manager of Oyo State Service, Mr. Yemi Akinyinka, confirmed the development to the news agents on Thursday. He noted that the incident occurred in the presence of the Divisional Police Officer, DPO, of the area. He describes the incident as embarrassing. Are you aware of several times when there have been tanker explosions and the incident and how it turns out to be? But I really don't know the reason why whenever there is a falling tanker in the country, people run to scoop fuel from there when they know the possibility and what the outcome of the eventuality, which is fire explosion. We heard in different states that has been affected by this tanker explosion. But I'd love to get your thoughts concerning this, please.
First, it's also a very disheartening situation when we see people taking advantage of the other people's downfall or challenges. It's so disheartening that most times Nigerians want to leverage upon the downfall of others, and that has been the major challenge. Most times it has also been attributed to the fact that this poverty mentality and also the poverty situation, the economic situation that we face, has made a lot of persons to try to take advantage of their economic situation, thinking that can help them survive within the moment, not considering the danger involved, not considering the risks involved and all of that. A lot of Nigerians most times have also watched carefully and have also seen it and heard that the situation that they embarked on by trying to scoop fuel from a falling tanker, it's risky and can also be life-taking. But a lot of them ignore it. So I think it is really a work for the NOA, even though they are not part of those agencies being recognized recently by the government, because they are supposed to be a reorientation process upon which they will go around and then try to enlighten the people, sensitizing the people on the need to stay away from such level of risk.
But then we don't take it serious. I also want to commend the current Rivers State government for putting up some level of commitment to Rivers State Fire Service. I think if every other Rivers State Fire Service are looking up to upgrade their system, it will be better. In as much as the current governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Ismail Fubara, have decided to see how he can be able to improve the structural aspect of the Rivers State Fire Service. I think he should also try the best he can to improve in terms of material, and also try the best he can to improve in terms of trucks, even though I know for him to redesign the building means that he has something, he plans for it. So I think other states should copy the same thing, because our fire service is totally dead. They are totally dead. You can never call them for emergency and then you will get them.
Well, in this instance in Oyo State, the fire service agent actually answered to...
No, it's not by answering, but it's not just by answering. I think part of the reason why they should answer is not just come to stop the fire or to prevent the fire, but also come there to chase away those that were scooping the fuel.
They were doing that and they got attacked in the process.
That's because they are not actually having the best structure. They are not really prepared for such scenario, because you see, Nigeria's level of economy has become so worrisome that a lot of persons are ready to do anything to survive, and that's because that's where we face. So I also want to say that the current leader of this federal government, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should also think of how he can be able to improve in his times of administration. I'm very much happy that at this point in time we are still struggling to get that realization. That's why the statement of Right Honorable Shimike Amechi, the former governor of Rivers State, and the former Minister of Transportation comes to some of us as a good one, because we must be able to stand and hold our politicians responsible. They do anything to remain in power, no matter how good it can or no matter what. They don't look at the governance, they don't look at any situation. We are in 2025. You're already planning for 2027 without concentrating on governance. So the lot of challenges we're having right now is as a result of politics upon politics, playing politics and ignoring governance. So that's the challenge. After politics, we are supposed to face governance, and not politics after politics and again politics. It doesn't go down well. Other Western world, other part of the country, they concentrate more. Look at what Donald Trump has done. Just the same day he was to be inaugurated, there was same day he already have all his appointees ready. Everything was ready for him to pronounce, and he made the pronouncement. How many months, how many weeks does it take our current president to have declared or announced his own appointees? It took some weeks, took some months, and that's not supposed to be the case. It means that Donald Trump was prepared and ready to face the administration. And so we're happy about his position.
We've had instances when the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has had foreign trips to different countries, to have ties, developmental ties with them. In this instance, don't you think he's trying to, if he has not gotten an initiative on how to govern the country properly, don't you think he's trying to, get these ties in order to know the right way on how to put the governance of the country? Unfortunately,
the visit of Mr. President or some other Nigeria principal political leaders to other parts of the world is not to go and attract some meaningful development. A lot of situations where Nigeria travels, just like what we are hearing on the news, I don't know how true it is, but if it is true, then I'll be one of those persons that will be very much excited about it. Hearing that some of the properties belong to Nigerians in the US should be sold out or given out, it's a good one. Yes. Hearing that the situation going on, all the Nigerians coming here to loot and then saving their money, this is what Nigerians travel to the other part of the country for. They don't go there to actually think of how to bring up some innovative ideas. Even when they find out these innovative ideas, they don't implement the innovative ideas in Nigeria. They implement only the corrupt ones and the one that will create or cause us hardship. And that's the one they implement. All the good ideas they have been traveling to get, how much have they implement? How many have they implement? So that's the challenge. So the president has been traveling on a lot of foreign trips. But what has been the impact of those trips? Okay. What has been the impact? No impact. Now the tanker drivers, before now, they were asked not to drive during the day. Asked not to drive during the day. The Nupen and the Ipman, what is their responsibility? How much are they sensitizing their drivers? Oftentimes you see tanker drivers will be threatening you on the road. I know how many times I drive on the road and you see a tanker driver try to threaten me on the road with their horn and also trying to put their head where there's no road and also trying to see how they can overtake a small vehicle or a smaller vehicle.
And you're talking about not allowing tanker drivers drive during the day. I've heard that subsequent times, and I don't know why they have not implemented it and put a stop to it. We've had several tank explosions due to bad roads, but like this one that happened in Oyo State, the tire fell off the tanker, and that was what caused the dislocation of this tanker. If there can be a way where this can be implemented, the agency, whatever that handles this, can make sure that this, because I heard that they were only allowed to be on the road at night at a specific period of time. Once it's 6 p.m. they are not allowed to be on the road, because this is actually a thing of concern to the lives of Nigerians.
I think that's where we're having problem, because we actually oftentimes we don't respect the rule of law. We also don't implement what we speak or what we actually designed to take up a particular action. So it becomes a major setback. And the Ipman and the Penk, that was saddled with this responsibility of trying to ensure that these tanker drivers and their operational routes or their routes are actually being well taken care of. They are not doing it. I think where we have challenges is that most of our leaders, most of the people looking out for office, they are just concerned about what they will benefit, and they don't care about whatever comes out or what the people are passing through. They're not concerned about it until we decide to be passionate about our office, until we decide to be passionate about our operational stand or background. Then we can do better. But now, just like we're facing right now, every Nigerian or most Nigerians, once you are given an appointment or given a particular position, the first thing you look out for is your personal benefit. How is this office going to benefit you? Ignoring the core purpose upon which you were appointed. So it becomes a major setback. Because if the Ipman and NUPENG were actually looking at this situation, they would have at least scrutinized and then take a drastic action on any of the tanker drivers that do not respect these rules. But they don't do it. Secondly, added to the federal government of Nigeria, why are we having this kind of situation? If IPMAN and then the NUPENG are not meeting up, what is the responsibility of federal government in terms of rural development, in terms of road construction? Because this is part of the major challenge that also might result to it. Because when you are at a bad spot, which I also have a challenge with road safety, and I keep asking, why is Nigeria road safety always standing at the bad spot of the road? Why? And then you stand at the bad spot of the road, and that is where they will ask you of your operational permit. That's what ask you of driver license. That's what ask you for all different kind of license. Always on the bad spot of the road. But I pray so hard for them to meet me on the bad spot, and each time I get down there, they will not really call my attention, because any day I am caught on the bad spot of the road by road safety, that is the day I will do my protest on that road. But going by what we are doing, we are saying it is actually one thing that federal government of Nigeria and those saddled with the responsibility of implementing this law should do the best they can to implement the law so that people can be safe. Now let's just be happy or celebrate the fact that there was no fire outburst in the course of the scooping of that oil. What if there was? That means the whole of those persons, all these persons would have been killed or burnt down.
Yes, in as much as we have called most of these agencies, ministries and whatnot to play their parts, the Nigerians should also know the safety measures of not scooping fuel from fallen tankers. From the beginning of your statement, you made mention of the economic situation of the country. That's one of the reasons why you find them engaging in activities like this. But we should know that at any slightest opportunity, there could be an explosion. So how much do you want to achieve from scooping fuel from a fallen tanker?
You won't blame them. It's a 50 Cent in one of his statements, or will I say motivational speech, said it that get rich or die trying. So a lot of persons are prepared to either get rich, or in the process of getting rich, they'd rather die than to sit back at home and do nothing. You know, when you're a family man and you have a crying child at home, and then you know very well that why your child is crying is a result of hunger. And then, you know, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have actually not paid attention to governance because, one, in the beginning of your taking over, within the first period or the first month of your taking over as president, a lot of people committed suicide. A lot of persons committed suicide. And you do not come to the president as anything. Now, you are a government or you are a president and your citizens are committing suicide because of hardship. It does not bother you. It doesn't mean anything to you. That's why from the beginning, I knew that he was not going to be a good president. Because if he was going to be a good president, when you notice that your citizens were committing suicide, there would have been a very serious drastic action that should be taken on how you can create succor or provide for the citizens, or for the citizens to be able to have a conducive atmosphere for them to strive anywhere they are.
And thank you, Mr. Oscar. I get the point you're trying to come up from. I'm not going to be on the side of anybody. In as much as economic value is not really yielding whatever we may want, that should not be an excuse for anybody to take his or her life.
It's not an excuse.
Yes, we are all surviving right here. I'm sure that as we speak, if we have to talk off camera, we will talk about several challenges we're going through, and as well as Nigerians, we are still surviving and hoping for better days. But that should not be enough reason for one to decide to take his or her life because of economic hardship. That's
where our individual differences lies, okay? At this point, that's where our individual differences come to play, because one, I am not actually earning any kind of salary from anywhere, but at the same time, I have decided not to join kidnapping. I have decided not to join armed robbery. I have decided not to be a Yahoo fraudster. I have decided not to be involved in any criminal activities. That's because that's my own kind of person. Now, how many persons can survive it? How many persons can stay through this situation or challenges and survive it? Now, as we speak, you are sounding this way because first, you don't have an emergency situation in the hospital where life and death is in between. Now, what about those persons that have an emergency case in the hospital where life and death is in between? And then there is no source. There is no source of livelihood. There is no source of income. Not even a good source of donation coming to them. And then you have your child, you have your family members or loved one lying critically ill in the hospital between life and death. And you understand that is when your individual differences or your integrity also come to play. Because there are a lot of challenges that a lot of persons are facing that even in your own comfort zone, you might not be able to identify. When you get to a stage where you see numbers of Nigerians sending you account details, when you get to a stage where you see numbers numbers of Nigerians sending you or making requests for social means of survival, that's when you know that yes, people are actually in hardship. Take, for example, the recent stampede that took place. What was the government or the federal government approached? Now some persons came out, let's say they are philanthropics, and they came out to say we want to give some level of palliative or assist some persons to be able to aid their Christmas value. And some persons got dead or got killed in the process out of stampede. What would have been the responsible system or approach of a responsible system of government? Is it not to actually look at the situation, what is causing this stampede and what is increasing the high rate of hunger on the land, and then look at it and then treat it, instead of the federal government of Nigeria to look at the cause of that stampede, which is a result of economic bringing
down. Do you know that
now, a lot of the government place look at
residents scooping fuel from falling tankers have been on for a long time, even before the present administration?
Fine, and nothing has been done about it, because in every given situation, just like we are talking right now, we are talking about 2027, and now what we are looking at now is regional president. We are not looking at how we are going to benefit the country, how the country will move better from this level to another level. What we are consuming now, Yoruba, after Yoruba, let it be the east, after the east, let it be the south, after the south, that is what we are concerned about. We are not looking about the impact or talking about the impact of these persons on the country. They are bringing this process on, but what does the federal government of Nigeria or even the state government done in terms of creating succor for these persons?
Thank you so much, Mr. Oscar. Well, we have to move forward. Thank you so much on that.